All right, Bradley. Bit of a disappointment after your loss.
Yeah, it wasn't too good there.
I'm sure we'll still get through your interview though. So, how was your tournament week? Where did you go?
It wasn't too bad. We took a trip up to Pukekohe, Counties Manukau. So overall was pretty good. Had a good time. Played some good hockey and got along with the boys quite well, and everyone bonded pretty well.
So, did the results go your way?
Through our first 3 pool games, we won 4-1, 9-0, and 8-0. So, which means we were supposed to cross over in our quarterfinal with the second qualifier from the other pool. But who were supposed to be top qualifier got upset by New Plymouth boys. So we ended up playing St Kentigans in our quarterfinal, who were the Auckland champions.
Oh, not good.
So we were unfortunate to end up losing that game. But we still won every other game after that, so ended up coming 5th.
So what was the score? Was it close in your crossover match?
Well, we were actually 2-1 up at half time, and then they got given a stroke, so it's just like a penalty kick in football, and they scored that pretty easily, and then they ended up scoring with 30 seconds to go to win the match. So pretty disappointing.
So it was a very close game. Was the stroke fair, or were you a bit hard done by?
Well, we think we're pretty hard done by. Even some of the opposition team and managing staff came up to us afterwards and said that it was a bit harsh, but that's hockey. Got to move on.
So what was the most memorable game in all of that? Was it the quarterfinal that you had?
Well, it was a pretty disappointing match. But I'd probably have to say our last pool game, which played against Burnside High, which was under lights at night, and we were playing really good hockey, and it was a pretty enjoyable game.
So what was the score in that game?
8-0.
8-0. Who was the top goal scorer in that game?
Put me on the spot here. But yeah, I chipped in with a few goals.
Well done. So who were some of the top performers of the tournament?
Obviously, Ollie McIntyre was solid in every game. Cleaned up at the back basically every time we got into trouble, and just played brilliantly through the whole week. Ollie Wilson is playing centre midfield, and he distributed the ball really, really well and kept a structure in the game, and he likes to talk a lot on the field, which helps us a lot to manage all the guys and get them in the right places. And then Tim Robinson, he's running some great lines up front, scoring some good goals, and another person is Timmy Matthews. He's only year 11, but he's holding his own very, very well, coming up against some class players, which he's having to defend, but he's doing very, very well against them.
So what was the top goal scorer, and how many goals did they score?
Again, put me on the spot. It was myself. I was able to score 7 goals.
Nice. We all know you're a modest chap, Brad. So would you like to share some memorable or funny moments on the trip that you had?
A few memorable moments would be, some of our downtime we'd go outside and play a bit of hockey tennis. And if you lost 5-0, then you do a Grundy run around the whole motel and down the road. So quite a few lads had to do that. But then one of the times, Andy Latimer lost 3 times in a row, and had to stand out the front and wait for someone to toot at him. But we didn't actually get someone to toot. But a couple in a car pulled over and had a few words for him that were a bit abusive, I'd say. So it was all
funny. A good laugh.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
So did anyone do anything stupid on the trip?
Not that I can really remember, but I don't know, there's just a couple of things here and there that people would say, like, why would you say that for? But just, not that I can remember really.
So Mr. Watt figured out how to use his camera and stuff this time?
Yeah, this time he actually pressed on when he was filming instead of turning it on when he had it in his pocket, which is good. But yeah, his dry jokes are always quite welcome.
So I'd just like to say, while we're on the topic, Mr. Watt, the videos he's put together are absolutely superb. And if you get the chance to have a look, check them out. They're on YouTube. I don't know his YouTube name, but what we can probably do is share them on our Facebook page so you guys can all check them out. because there's some very good skill of you, Bradley, on them.
Cheers, Cam.
Oh, he's blushing. So did you get up to much down there apart from playing hockey?
When we were up there, yeah. Well, when we were playing hockey, that took up a lot of time, but we like to chill out in our downtime and sort of sit around, watch movies, play a bit of hockey, tennis here and there, but wasn't really much we could do. Things to see in Pukekohe, unfortunately, but no, we were good, playing the hockey, and if we wanted to go watch some other games down at the turf, we could just jump in the vans and go over watch. So
I mean, I watched the videos, and Mr. Watts showed me the videos, and he was telling me about a guy who was on the sideline that got escorted off from the courts or the pitch. Would you like to share that story with us?
Yeah, well, we were playing Mount Albert Grammar in our second to last game. One of their assistant coaches was standing behind the goal, behind the fence, and he had a walkie-talkie, so he was sort of communicating with the coach on what was going on. And then the umpire made a kind of a harsh call, and the assistant coach went on to have a rant at the umpire, and he wasn't too happy, and he was flinging his arms about and stuff like that. And the tournament director came up to him and said, "Nah, you need to leave. You can't be around behind the goal." And he refused to leave, so he told him to leave the ground.
And if you want to watch that all over again, they are on Mr. Watts' videos, so if you want to check that out, you can. So for people who are looking to get a spot in the first 11 next year, obviously because there are quite a few Year 13s leaving, what advice would you give them?
Just if you want to take that step up, just big thing is to work on your fitness. Fitness is a big thing in hockey, and just do the basics well. If you do the simple things well, then you won't make mistakes, and that's when you'll get recognised by coaches and other players. So,
and it's quite a bit of training is involved, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, as a big thing is fitness, you need all that, but then the extra skills, and you need to go through all the structures and everything like that, and especially with the step up to the first 11, there's a lot more structures come into it than some of the lower levels, so it's about learning all them and then adapting to them and just playing hard.
Yeah, so I believe that you are in a New Zealand representative side for hockey. How did you get into this?
Yeah, fortunately I was able to make the New Zealand Under-18 squad, so that was from National Under-18 tournament which we had in the last holidays. So it was held in Palmerston North, and yeah, we played off there, and a squad was named about 4 or 5 days later, so it's a squad of 30. And then we have a training camp in about 4 weeks now, and the squad of 30 gets cut down to a team of 18, which then goes and plays a test series against Australia in Melbourne later on in the year, so pretty exciting stuff.
So you talk about this training camp. Is this giving you any exciting opportunities to train with the likes of Black Sticks, etc.?
Like we've got at the camp, there's obviously high level coaches who have been involved with New Zealand hockey for a long time, and a lot of ex-New Zealand players. And I know there's a couple of current New Zealand players, with one of them being the New Zealand goalkeeper Kyle Pontifex, who's going to the camp, helping out.
So how has your Prem 1 season been going for you this year? Are any people stepping up, finding some form?
Again, yeah, definitely guys step up a whole lot, especially last year being a pretty disappointing season and losing no one last year. A lot of the guys obviously getting bigger and stronger and stepping up, especially Timmy Matthews is another big one. He's got a little bit of height on him now because he was quite a small fella last year. So he's ripping up and playing very well, and especially another person like Devon Rama. He's obviously another small guy, but he's got a lot bigger and he's playing very well, doing the simple things well. And then another couple was Sam Houston and Matt Heisbuttle. A couple of guys are leaving at the end of this year. They've stepped up a lot and scoring some good goals, running some great lines, and playing some really good hockey.
So obviously you got a big game tonight against Wairarapa College, Newtown 6:45 if anyone wants to go along. What preparation's been going into this? Have you put much more effort into it? Or same old, same old?
More same old, but I know once we get into the change room before the game, the coach will go through probably more of a lengthy team talk than we would usually. But we've been doing the same things all season, so it'd be basically similar to what we're doing on tournament. So basically the same, but obviously a lot more pressure game to go on to.
So do you fancy your chances tonight?
Yeah, I think we've got a good chance. It's going to be a pretty tough match, though, I can see. The team we're playing are very, very skillful, and they've got a lot of good players. They got 3 New Zealand under-18 squad players, so that helps them out a lot. And then they're pretty good across the whole park. There's not many weaknesses that we could possibly exploit.
So if you get past the semi, who will you be facing? Do you fancy your chances against them?
Well, if we win tonight, then we play the winner of the other semi-final, which is Wellington College or Scots. So, depending on who wins that, then we'll go through to play them. But if it's Wellington College that make it through, we haven't beaten them this year so far, but all the matches we've played have been pretty close. So, hopefully we can just put on those finishing touches to score a few goals and hopefully win the match if it comes to that.
So if there is an upset and Scots do beat Wellington College, what do you think your chances are against Scots?
I think in all finals it doesn't matter who you play. A lot of teams step up, so couldn't really say. It's going to be pretty hard match either way.
So the big question is, do you think you'll take out Premier 1?
It's a hard question, Cam, but I think we've got the guys, we've got the structures, and if we put a good performance together tonight and hopefully next week, then I think we've got a good chance.
So thanks, Brad, for coming on the show. Is there anything you'd like to say before we leave you?
Just like to thank basically all the hockey boys for this year, especially those guys are leaving: Sam Hewson, Matt Heisenbuttle, Fletcher Phillips, Ollie Wilson, and Ollie Mack. You know, I've enjoyed you guys' company and playing hockey with you over the last couple of years, so really thankful for that, and especially Mr. Watt as well for always being there on tournaments and making those good videos. Always good to go back after a game and reflect and watch them, so that's really good. But apart from that, yeah, just thanks everyone, and yeah.
So guys, we've come to the end of another show of Cam and Sam Sports Show, and unfortunately we won't be having a show next week, but luckily for the guys at Hibs, the new shows are going to be up and running as of next week, so make sure you guys are listening out to the new shows, because we believe there are some very good ones out there. We will be having a show last week of term, and that will include Mr. Johnson coming in to talk about the 2020 World Cup that will be happening over the holidays, and also I think we're getting Brett Johnson in to talk about the first 11 cricket tour that are going away during the holidays. So guys, thanks for listening in. Now we're going to give you a song to finish with. Paloma Faith's Stone Cold Sober. Cheers guys.